Aloha. I wanted to make a real quick video in response to this science must fall either hashtag or movement, whatever they're calling, whatever the kids are calling this stuff these days. But it's a thing. It's an actual. Some people on YouTube have been making videos to in response to this science must fall statement or movement that's being shared from these UCT students. So UCT is the University of Cape Town. Basically what the science must fall dialogue is based upon is the colonial program that is in the infrastructure of this so-called science community, scientism, which is Western science. It has nothing to do with the actual organic sciences. True science is, you can't have true science unless you have the relationship or the marriage with the true spirit. That's the alchemy. You can only have the dumbed down version of science, which is basically like elementary school. So you have what we are underneath today, the mind control program of today that keeps people dumb within the colonial program, which keeps people enslaved and defending the enslavement, defending the program, because we pride ourselves. It's the actually flipping upside downs and backwards version of the solar plexus. So you get your willpower, you get your fire, and they install an artificial fire. It's like a fluorescent fire that gets installed inside your solar plexus, because you're already removed from your root chakra. You're already removed from your family and your culture. You have no connection to nature. The main design is to destroy nature and consume everything. It's consumption. The materialistic version of reality is based upon consumption. Everything is for the human. The ancient ancestral knowledge was understanding that there's a harmonics with nature, the human experience, animals, the spirit, the stars, the sun, the moon. That's going into the alchemical relationship that the physical reality has with spirit and beyond, the soul. That's where you can go even further into it and understand the true sciences that have been stolen and dumbed down from Egypt, installed into Greece, installed into Rome, and installed into the so-called new world that we're living under today. It's no different than how religion was installed into the mind control program to enslave the indigenous and aboriginal peoples all over the earth plane. So the doggy treats, or the little toys, like the Scholastic magazine, or that little magazine that you could order little books and erasers and pencils from in elementary school, when that used to come around every two times a month or wherever. That's what we look up to today. The toys that we have today are technology, smartphone, our cars, a damn motorcycle that won't fall over. You have whatever this Western world worships. The celebrities put it out there for you. They're the ones. The political program, the so-called freedom, all this shit. This is all a design of the colonial program to make an individual think that they are free. And when they think that they are free, that is that artificial fire. So the kids have recess in school, and then they have like those little books, those little pencils. That's their world. A child's world is very simple. And then when you graduate, when you have 13 years of public education, which is just indoctrination, then you just do that. You can't get out of that. You still are that individual, just an older version of that indoctrination. So this is where the university system comes in. This is where your entire world comes in. So now you have a car instead of a fancy eraser. Now you have a tablet or a smartphone instead of a mechanical pencil. Now you have these university books instead of Goosebumps or whatever scary movie or scary story books that are out there. Whatever you used to do as a kid, you just install that as an adult. That's not how the ancients existed in this world. That is an actual mind control program. That is the colonization program. And in South Africa, some of the deepest programming, you're in Africa, some of the deepest programming with apartheid didn't end until like the early 90s. So basically it was the mid 60s and pre 60s, the pre civil rights time frame. It was that time frame up until the early 90s in South Africa. Like apartheid didn't stop in South Africa until like the early 90s. So this is a whole mentality that still exists in the individuals there. And it doesn't surprise me at all that this Science Must Fall movement is starting in a university in South Africa. I'm so happy that it is. And you can see with this 15,000 dislikes, 1,000 likes, and then you have all these YouTubers who are making videos who are just defending the colonial program, not realizing the depths of this, because they're doggy treats, the toys that we utilize every day, because that's the only thing that we have excuse me, in the Western world, is what's, then nobody can look past that, and nobody can see past that horizon. The horizon of the globe model, the horizon of transhumanism, the horizon of CERN, the horizon of NASA, all these horizons get shrunk down into our reality, and then you start to inhabit that space as who and what you are, and then it just gets passed down over generation upon generation. Now you have YouTube that gives people outlets for not only defending the colonial program, but having other people, millions, hundreds of thousands of other people, followers, subscribers, who are also going to believe whatever their YouTube sensations are saying and thinking and doing. So this is how the mind control program is being amplified by the technological. It's like feeding itself. So we all know that YouTube is owned by Google. Google is owned by the entities behind the veil who are part of this mind control program. How these YouTube sensations get amplified in front of you is they tell the story that the system wants to be told. So if they want to tell you a story about distraction, your enslavement in a happy-go-lucky way, now they have, instead of pulling from Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie and Will Smith and whoever else out there, now they can pull from and hundreds of thousands of people on who are making content on the internet that's available to everybody in any one moment. And that is an instantaneous mind control program. You can see with the trending page and so on. Like, I mean, they pick these individuals just as much as they pick information to not be shared. They pick information to be amplified. This is why you have the celebrities talking about, politics and all that stuff. But this, I wanted to share this to give more an how this program works. It's just like she's gonna say like science is science. It's just you should just believe science because it's science. It's the same thing like Jesus, like in the Christianity and Catholicism and all the religions. That mind control program. It's like Jesus is Jesus. He's just Jesus. He saves stuff. He's just blonde hair, blue eyes. He's got statues all over the place. How could you not believe this? Come on. So this whole program is designed to feed itself through the consciousness of the masses who have nothing else to eat. So scientism, the elementary version of true science, is what people are eating and have now that microwave TV dinner, which is the scientism community, is installed in individuals' pride in their fire centers. Now they have to defend it. This is why all these YouTube channels are making videos talking about, come on, this lady's lost it, something's wrong, like, and you can, let me just play it so you can see what I'm talking about.
Take the next round. Okay, so can I respond to your submissions, because I wanted to directly respond. I was actually thinking about this coming here because I thought that it was going to be one of the coming questions. How do we even start to decolonize science? Because science is true because it is science, and what can you do? And my response to that was, if I personally were committed to enforcing decolonization, science as a whole is a product of Western modernity, and the whole thing should be scratched off, especially in Africa. So if you want practical solutions to how to decolonize science, we have to restart science from, I don't know, an African perspective, from our perspective of how we've experienced science. For instance, I had a question for all the science people is, there's a place in KZN, and they believe that through the magic, the black magic, you call it black magic, they call it witchcraft, others, that you are able to send a lightning to strike someone. So can you explain that scientifically? Because it is something that happens
See, that's exactly this whole design. It's not true. Come on. Science says it's not true. It's like Western science says it's not true, but alchemy says you can fuck somebody up with some lightning. This is how this program works. The politicians, the mainstream media, when you start talking about anything that is that is like the polar opposite of what the mind control program is, they just say, it's not true. Come on with all that poppycock. Just get out of here with all that nonsense. You're one of those conspiracy theorists. So that conspiracy theorist mind control title is the same essence of it's not true. And then that's all they got to say. Based upon what? So like she says, science is science. Like science, when it's the same thing Neil deGrasse Tyson did. It's like, this is gravity. I'm dropping a microphone. That's gravity. That's gravity did that. It's like, well, we have laws and theories. They're not laws, they're theories. These are theories, all of them, when you go into it. So these theories were built on the foundation of enslavement of the mind and the body, and the collective, through the colonial program. And so many generations have been building on top of that foundation, that elementary school, that now people are just like, oh, well, that's it. It's not true. That stuff doesn't exist. Come on. Well, people, you can understand, a few centuries ago, people really believed in magic. Like, they really believed in black magic. Now, it's that mentality has been so dumbed down, and simultaneously the mentality of the scientism community has been so dumbed up into like this fancy dumbness, this fancy intelligence that's really just elementary school. You're talking about like ham and cheese sandwiches and the cornucopia of reality that we could be ingesting, with the understanding of true science and the spirit that was understood by the ancient Egyptians or the Cometians, by the Inca, the Maya, the Aztecs, the Olmecs, the Native Americans, the indigenous cultures. This is why this system exists, in order to keep that mentality dead and sick, so they can amplify themselves. So I wanted to share this video in support of these UCT students, and really just, yeah, because I mean they're going to be obviously attacked. They're in a university in South Africa. It's already being amplified. You see these people, like I only watched like 10 seconds of this Ronaldo guy, but it's basically the same mentality as the other channel. The video I watched yesterday of his channel name was like some black guy. He's got a good amount of subscribers to his channel, but he just says the same thing. He's just like, come on, it's not true. Science is science because it's just science. And yeah, and there's no connection there. It's the Stockholm Syndrome enslavement program that YouTube is now the whip. It's like the psychological, the intellectual whip. You get whipped with these egos that whip you into thinking and whip you into, like, you find what's comfortable for you. And that's what this whole system is based upon. It's based upon what's comfortable, because what's comfortable is what's comfortable within the Western mentality, within the Western world. It's very uncomfortable for these individuals, these students, obviously, they're going to be laughed at. They're being laughed at. They're being ridiculed for even bringing up what is very natural, which is very real in so many ways, but since it's like a different world, it's a different language. Like in my last video, I was speaking about how this is a different language. She's like speaking a different language to them. The language that we are speaking today is a mayonnaise sandwich language. The language of reality, the language of time, the language of human consciousness is based upon a mayonnaise sandwich. English is a mayonnaise sandwich language to actually speak. The Western colonial university system, the scientism, bastardized version of science, is a mayonnaise sandwich reality. And since we've been eating mayonnaise sandwiches, and since we've developed a fucking mayonnaise sandwich iPhone and a mayonnaise sandwich technology, all this other stuff, then you start to defend it. It's like, it tastes so good. You don't like it. It's delicious. We've been eating this forever. Come on, if you don't like mayonnaise sandwiches, then you should just stop using your smartphone. Like, this is how this ridiculous mentality works. It's childish. It's very childish. It's not open for discussion. Neil deGrasse Tyson is not open for discussion because he is the end all be all of the word. When you have control of the word, then that's it. You're done. There is no conversation. There is no discussion. Science is science. Jesus is Jesus. That's it. Just believe it, shut your mouth, and go back to work. So, thank you for these students for standing up in the belly of this beast program in South Africa, in the university system of Cape Town. And yeah, so if you make videos and you're feeling what I'm talking about, please show some support to these students, because they are being attacked, and they are going to be attacked even more because of what they're talking about. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to share. So thank you for joining me, and until next time, from all my relations, peace, love, and harmony.